Hi, it's Ray from loveyourrv.com, and today I'm going to do my routine maintenance on my Champion generators, and I'll show you what I do to keep them in tip-top shape. And the things I'm going to need: I'm going to need oil. Got about a quart of oil here. I take about a half a quart each. Got some contact cleaner, some alcohol, funnel for putting the oil in, a 10mm socket for taking the top handle off. This to set the gap in the spark plug. This is a special tool they give you to pull the spark plug. A normal Phillips No. 2 screwdriver and a nice little wire brush. It's also handy to use an electric drill. It will help you get things off faster. And of course the manual. First thing I like to do is get all the covers off so everything is exposed and easy to access. So you have 4 screws on this cover, and then that pops off and falls. Next thing to do is there's some 10mm bolts up here on each corner of the handle, and that pops off. Then these things just unclip like that on each side, and that allows you to get this. There's 4 screws on this panel, 2 on each corner, and that pops off. And you got everything exposed. You can see up here is the port for changing the spark plug, and in here you kind of have to wiggle this a little bit to get it off, but that's the spark plug cap right there, and you can see the spark plug sitting in there. Over on this side, this is your exhaust. There's a little screen there that you're going to have to clean, and then the spark arrestor just pulls out as well, and that's going to have to be cleaned. And you want to get the air filter out as well. So this screw here comes out, and this black plastic cover comes off, and there you can see the foam air filter right in there. Having got the air filter out, the instruction book says you want to clean that in soapy water, rinse it out, let it dry, and then put some oil on it and just clean off the excess oil and reinstall it. To get the spark plug out, you've got the special tool for that. Just put a screwdriver through and loosen it up like that. You should be able to turn that out. It's in kind of a cramped area, but we'll pull it out. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I'll have to clean that up and re-gap it, but I think I can keep using that spark plug. It says to set the gap of the spark plug between 0.024 and 0.028, so I'm sitting right at 0.026, so that's perfect gap on the spark plug. So I'm just going to clean up that electrode as best as I can and reinstall the spark arrestor and the muffler filter I have soaking in some alcohol. It's that little cup here. Let it soak in there for 15 or 20 minutes. That should clean off all the soot from that. So between soaking in the alcohol and scrubbing with a wire brush, you got the spark arrestor screens all looking good again. That just fits in there like that. And this cover goes on, and you just do up the screw. That's all there is to that. You want to make sure that doesn't build up too much soot and debris in there, because that'll block your exhaust and you'll lose a lot of power from that. Air filter is all clean, and put a little bit of oil on it, wiped off the excess. pretty encouraged after all the time we were in the desert running it. Barely any dust in it at all. So that fits back in there. And then this cover fits on, screw goes in. I got the spark plug gapped, and put it back in there. When you put it back in, you want to make sure you don't cross thread it. Make sure the threads go in easily, and at the very end just snug it down and put the cap back on. Well, I won't show you the mess it is to change the oil. I'll just sort of explain. Down here you have to tilt the whole thing and drain the oil out of that. Well, of course it's going to want to fall right into there, so I kind of put some paper under it. I used a paper towel roll so that somewhere direct the oil. And then when you fill it back up, they give you a special funnel that comes with the unit. I've read that the new units now have a little bit of an extra bit out here, so it makes draining the oil far easier. Then you pretty well fill the oil all the way to the top of that, and screw that in. When you screw it out, there's a little markings on there to tell you if you've got it right, but I find you almost have to fill it to the top to get it to be in the indicator, proper indicator level. I like to clean all the electrical connections with a good contact cleaner. This MG Chemicals Electrosolves one I've used in my electronics repair business. It cleans, but it doesn't leave any residue behind, so it's ideal for cleaning connectors and switches and things like that. I'll even probably, clean out the spark plug cap with that, just to get rid of any dirt or debris or oxidation that might have built up on the connectors. The ground rings, I'll probably give them a little wire brush. Make sure all the electrical connections are in good shape. Okay, so I've cleaned and gapped the spark plug, changed the oil, cleaned the air filter, cleaned the spark arrestor. So now last thing I need to do is just make sure the fuel filter is clean. It sits right in there. Mine wasn't very dirty at all. And we'll sew it back up and fire up, see how she's running. Okay, she's running pretty nice. Nice steady voltage. Drop her down into econo mode. So I got the generator running in econo mode on the tailgate of the truck. This kind of shows you how quiet they are in econo mode. Everybody's always complaining about the Champions being super noisy, but I think they're talking about the construction type ones. These little inverter generator type ones are actually quite quiet. And there they go, tucked back into the truck box, ready for our next boondocking adventures.